more spoiler-free book reviews. Today I'm back with some spoiler-free book reviews, and I have got 6 books, which is some pretty good going for me actually. And as usual, they're going to be spoiler-free, and I'm just going to get started because I don't want this to be a half-hour long video, because you wouldn't believe the amount of waffle I have to cut out of these videos. Once I get started talking about books, it just goes on and on. So I'm going to start with the first book, which is an audiobook, and it is Only Time Will Tell by Jeffrey Archer, and it's #1 in the Clifton Chronicles. That is what the cover looks like right there. I did not know that this was going to be a sort of a Chronicles type book when I downloaded it. It was on an offer on Audible, and so I downloaded it to listen to it, and I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's about a young man trying to escape poverty, and it's set in between World War I and World War II, and it's about Harry Clifton, who is from a very sort of impoverished background, who is a gifted singer, and he joins the boys' choir and manages to get himself a scholarship into a private school, and it's his journey from there really, and the people he meets. And not a lot actually happened, even though I found it very enjoyable to listen to. But I'm guessing that's because now that I've looked it up, I think it's a part one of 7, so I'm guessing that it's going to be sort of a long drawn out sort of saga. I'm not sure if I'll listen to the rest of the books yet, even though I did really enjoy it. I am into some other books at the moment, and I'm listening to another really good audiobook, and I'm telling absolute lies because I've got another one that is an audiobook as well, and that's Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. And this is the cover that Audible gives this. That one is a thriller. It's about 2 different women, Louise and Adele, and they're both connected via Adele's husband because Louise works for him, and obviously Adele's married to him. This book starts off where Louise has actually had a drunken fumble with David, who is Adele's husband. Louise doesn't know that David is married, and she later finds out, and she's mortified, and she also didn't know that he was about to be her boss. Again, double the mortification. And so the 2 women end up meeting and sort of becoming friends, and Louise becomes embroiled in this very unusual relationship. Now, I gave this 3 out of 5 stars, and the reason being is because I really loved the book until the end, and I'm not going to spoil it for you obviously, but I will say the writing was really good. I was really into it, I was excited, and then the ending was a 1-star ending, so it was looking to be a 5-star book for me, and then it just got really weird. So I'm not going to say anything else because you might want to read this, and some people have loved this book, and I'd be really interested to know what any of you had thought of that book, and if you also thought the ending was extremely bizarre. But be mindful of leaving spoilers if you can. The next book that I'm going to talk about is this one, Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. I was sent this for review a little while back. I featured it in a haul, and a few people had said that they were quite excited to read this. I'm wondering if any of you have actually managed to get a copy of it. I think it's released the day that I'm uploading this, which is tomorrow, the 2nd of May, and I love this. And like I say, it's by Paula Hawkins, the woman who wrote The Girl on the Train, and a few people have said to me that they didn't think they would enjoy this as they didn't enjoy Girl on the Train with the unreliable narrator sort of situation. But I have to say that this book is nothing like Girl on the Train. Again, it is a thriller, but it is so vastly different. You can't really compare the 2 stories. Still brilliantly written, still engaging characters, still characters that really made me want to read more. But the difference with this book is that it has a lot of characters. So it isn't the first time I've read a book like this. I've read other books where there have been a huge selection of characters, but it can take a little while to get used to who everybody is, who their story is, and who you're actually reading now. But from chapter to chapter, it tends to jump between person to person, and this was just such an intriguing mystery to me. A lot of the time in thrillers, I will sort of guess the end. I will have an inkling as to what is coming. But with this one, no, I did not. I had no idea what was coming, and it really surprised me. It's about an area in the north of England, and there is a drowning pool there. I don't know what that finger movement was. I tried to do that, but I was holding the book, so I failed. But there is a drowning pool there, and over the centuries, women have gone into this pool and never came out. And one of the main characters in this book is Nell, who has gone into the drowning pool, and that happens at the very beginning of the book, so it's not a spoiler. Nell has gone into the drowning pool, and her sister gets the phone call to say that her sister's gone into the pool. and there is a huge sort of mystery. Why is Nell gone in the pool? What happens in the pool? What is this pool? And what are the people of the town hiding? Are they hiding anything? And the whole town seems such an intoxicating sort of heavy town with mystery behind all of the characters. Everybody's really different, and I again, yes, loved. So this I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Next we have this one, which is The People at Number 9 by Felicity Everett. This is a story that focuses on creativity and the creative process, and whether you have the right to act a bit different if you're creative, and whether it makes you a better person by being such creative. And so it sounded like everything I sort of like. I was expecting it to be a thriller because it said online that it was a thriller, and it was sort of pitched to me for review as a thriller, but I didn't actually think this fell into the category of thriller. It was interesting and I was intrigued to know more about the characters, but the one thing I found about this book is that there was nobody in it that I found particularly likeable. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed reading it, but the characters in it, I found them to be so narcissistic and so extremely self-involved and just selfish to a whole different degree, that I found them all very unlikable, and so I wasn't really fussed about what happened to them, and if they had any sort of bad luck, I didn't really feel for them, and but I'm not sure if that's the way it was supposed to come across. It's about a couple called Sarah and Neil. They live the sort of the normal suburban lifestyle with school runs and, you know, the normal house and the jobs and things like that. And then in next door move Gavin and Louise, and they are a complete different style of couple. They're extremely artistic. They're very alternative. They're not really fussed about how their house looks. They're more interested in their sort of entertaining and partying and things like that, and all of their artistic pursuits. And for some reason Sarah is extremely interested in this couple, and she is sucked into their life, and she seems to sort of start to begin to lose herself as she sort of goes down this route of creativity. And the story that follows, in my view, is sort of an inevitable conclusion to this sort of behaviour. And so if that sounds like it interests you, do look it up. Like I say, that was the only thing that let it down for me, is that I didn't actually like anybody in it. So yeah, that is The People at Number 9. Next up we've got My Sweet Revenge by Jane Fallon. I love this. I said a little while ago when I did a haul that I was looking to get back into some more women's fiction, and this sounded perfect for me. I have read Jane Fallon books before and I really enjoy her writing style and I really enjoy her characters. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. It's about Paula and Robert, a married couple who've been married for 20-something years, I think, and they've got a teenage daughter who's now 17, and they both met at drama school. And Paula has always supported Robert. She's actually given up her career to stay at home and look after their daughter, while Robert goes on to pursue a career in acting. And Robert has managed to make it. He's in a drama / soap, and he has sort of regular income. And somewhere along the line, Paula discovers that Robert is cheating on her, so she embarks upon a 50s housewife style situation where she tries to make Robert fall back in love with her so that she can dump him and really hurt him. She wants to leave him, but she wants it to hurt him. And I have to say, I did quickly grasp what was going to happen in this book. I didn't think it was too mysterious, but at the same time I was really down for the ride and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read my next Jane Fallon book, which I have sitting on my TBR pile, which is Strictly Between Us, it's called. So I can't wait to read that. And if you like that sort of genre, if you enjoy a good bit of women's fiction, this one was a really fun and interesting read. Next up we've got Seas of Snow by Karenza Jennings. I uploaded a whole video devoted to this. I loved it. It was 5 out of 5 stars. I will link the video down below if you haven't seen it, but if you have seen it, then yeah, you'll know what I'm about to say. But I found this to be so interesting. This is a massive look at nature versus nurture, and it is really dark, really grim, really gripping, and just an extraordinary book, an extraordinary piece of writing. I can't really stress how much I love this. Like I say, it is not for the faint-hearted. It really carries with it a huge trigger for child abuse. If you're not interested in delving into the mindset of a very depraved individual, then perhaps this wouldn't be for you. But for anybody who can deal with a bit of darkness, can actually cope with the uncomfortable, this, yes, 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. But obviously I'm not going to go too much into it because I have a whole video which I will link down below. You should watch it. The final book that I have is this one, If You Love Me by Alice Keel. I'm not going to say too much about this because obviously this is a true life story about a domestic abuse situation. And I gave this 1 out of 5 stars, and that has left me a little bit uncertain about what I want to say, because obviously this is someone's life, this is someone's story, so I don't really want to be, I don't really want to say something that would be unkind. This is a story of a 30-year-old woman who meets a man, and he seems like the perfect boyfriend for the first 6 weeks, and then he starts being really abusive. I don't know what it was that I just didn't, I couldn't, yeah. I mean, I feel very sorry for Alice. It sounds like a terrible situation that she was in, a really bad situation that she was in. It sounds like she really went through a hell of a lot. But, I don't know. If you've read that, let me know your thoughts. I did read quite a few reviews on Goodreads, which actually I felt like a lot of them agreed with the sort of feelings that I had towards that book. I'd be interested to know if you've read it and what you thought of it. Okay, so that is the end of my wrap up. If you made it to the end, well done, and I will see you all in my next book video. Bye!